DICE just announced several major improvements coming to Battlefield 2042 across 2 new patches. The first update launches tomorrow, and a bigger one with some highly requested features goes live next month. Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today we're taking a look at all the info regarding Battlefield 2042's newly announced update. DICE have been sharing key details about the updates on social media today, and many of the changes include features players have been demanding since the beta. These features include an actual team-based scoreboard, portal XP improvements, stability fixes, performance improvements, and more. DICE are also working on cross-platform voice chat and a handful of other requested features. Alright, first things first. Update 3.2 launches tomorrow with several small fixes and improvements to the game's stability. The update notes are getting posted this evening. In the meantime, though, we can cover what DICE has officially announced. DICE says that every update for 2042 in the immediate future will include performance optimizations, so hopefully these stability improvements include some FPS bumps as well. Update 3.2 is also making some key changes to how XP works in Battlefield Portal. Currently, XP earned is limited to Portal's officially featured modes. It's also capped to a certain amount per minute, and none of your progress in Portal matches counts towards mastery unlocks. Update 3.2 is raising the XP cap per minute by 300 points. Mastery and weekly challenges will be tracked with modifiers based on the custom rules of a server, and this seems like a pretty big improvement that should hopefully make lightly modified custom servers much more attractive. Now, the way that the system works is that there'll be 3 tiers of progression restrictions coming in 3.2 for custom Portal experiences. Tier 1 offers full progression with full XP, mastery XP on weapons and vehicles, as well as attachment unlocks. Ribbon and weekly missions will also be tracked in this Tier 1. The second tier is called Moderate, and it will activate when you implement any of the basic modifiers aside from the rules editor, AI, or damage and health. In this tier, player XP is capped at 300 points per minute, and mastery XP only tracks to rank 12. Ribbon XP is disabled, but weekly missions will still be tracked. Now, the third restricted tier activates if you start to tweak the rules editor, AI, or damage and health. Player XP is still available and capped at 300 points per minute, but mastery XP, ribbon XP, and weekly mission tracking are all disabled. Now, despite this seemingly complicated approach to XP in Portal, this does seem like one of the better and possibly only ways to implement it so that it's not immediately exploited as it was at launch. At the very least, this should allow players to create servers with full XP that have custom map rotations and cool game modes mixed together as opposed to just queuing up the traditional way. Hopefully we'll see some of these servers pop up tomorrow and get populated and maybe stay populated. DICE has said that they're working on more Portal updates that will roll out after patch 3.2. These will include a UI indicator showing the progression restrictions of a custom server to help you better understand when you're looking for a server to join. Now, if Portal is of no interest to you, then the next patch is sure to perk your ears a bit more. Patch 3.3 is launching mid to late February. This update will be a much bigger patch than 3.2 and will finally add a proper scoreboard to the game. The scoreboard UI is being updated to show the entire server's performance. Unlike past Battlefield games, it won't be split by teams. Instead, it'll show everyone in the server in a single column sorted by their match performance. This seems like it's being done to try and make better use of the UI space, and also because, well, there's 128 players in a server. Hopefully this will just make it easier to read. Now, showing the top performers across both teams at the top helps prioritize some of the most useful info out there, but it may bury your info at the bottom. The new UI uses the existing UI to keep track of your performance, ribbon progress, and the match stats like it currently does with a panel to the left. One notably absent metric from the team-wide scoreboard is death count. Deaths can be an important metric to see how many tickets somebody on your team might be using versus the captures and kills that they're earning. Sometimes it can be a valuable metric to compare yourself to others who are reviving more and holding revives to wait for medics. I feel like adding deaths to the scoreboard could be a good tool to teach players how to avoid dying more or how to hold revives. I'm curious what you guys think about this one. Do you think 2042 scoreboard needs to show deaths across all modes, or is it not an important metric? Let us know in the comments. The scoreboard will continue to get tweaks and updates in the future based on player feedback and data, so what's coming in 3.3 isn't set in stone. stone. One thing that I've always wanted to see on a scoreboard is a way to separate kills into two categories, infantry kills and vehicle kills. That way, if you see somebody on the scoreboard who's say 80-0, but it's because they've been in a jet or helicopter all game, then it becomes immediately clear how they're playing, and it can reduce accusations and just improve your general reading of the scoreboard. Also, another column on the scoreboard that clumps together some of the support score that you earn would be nice to see how players are playing. So if you're somebody who revives a lot, spots a lot, distributes a lot of ammo, that could all be added up into one column, so you could just see how much somebody is being a good supportive player versus racking up tons of kills or capturing and defending. I mean, it's literally one of the most important metrics of playing the game in general, so to not have that information read on the scoreboard in any way seems like a little bit of a disservice to an entire way of playing Battlefield. So it would be very cool if that got integrated as well. DICE didn't announce anything else about the 3.3 update, but they did highlight progress on several requested features, matchmaking preferences in All-Out Warfare, cross-platform voice chat, and game performance improvements are in the works. Now, cross-platform VoIP will be a great addition to the game. Being able to chat with your squad in-game has always been a part of Battlefield's identity and team play. These days, Discord has taken over a lot of the voice chat, at least for PC players, but only when playing with friends. VoIP was a big omission from 2042's launch. Unfortunately, VoIP and those matchmaking preferences don't have a launch window. They're just on DICE's radar for a potential future update. And when they do add it in, it would be nice if they included custom output options for the VoIP channel instead of just default audio. A few other multiplayer games offer this level of customization, and I've always wanted it for Battlefield. Now finally, DICE mentioned improvements to game performance are always in the works. They say that every update will bring big and small changes to improve how the game runs. Considering how poorly it runs on older PCs and last-gen consoles, these improvements can't come soon enough. Even monster PCs need to significantly reduce graphics options to maintain a decently high frame rate. Now obviously, the elephant in the room is that DICE didn't announce any sort of roadmap for new content in 2042. And as expected, players are not going to be satisfied with a work-in-progress scoreboard or more XP in Portal. To me and to them, this is just getting 2042 into a good playable state. And even despite all the quality of life features that 2042 lacks, it's still a very playable game right now that just needs more base content. DICE could probably do a lot to flesh out the game with more minor changes, like putting Portal's content into the base game more. Hopefully this XP change to the Portal system will bring players into Portal more, expanding the content that people are willing to play while also earning full XP. Other key features like a spectator client, photo mode, and persistent servers in matchmaking are also highly requested by players. Now, as of writing this script, DICE still hasn't released the patch notes for update 3.2. Those should be out sometime this evening, and we'll add them to the description and pin comments when they do. Otherwise, look out for coverage of the full patch notes tomorrow. Also, if you've been hungry for more info regarding the actual weapon mechanics of 2042, sim.gg just added 2042's weapon stats to their website. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to the people at Sim who put the time in to extract this data and make it readable to the public. I'll certainly be using it in the future to give more depth to my weapon reviews and comparisons. Now, overall, it's nice to actually hear something from DICE after the break. It's nice to know that they're implementing the scoreboard, that VoIP is being worked on, that XP could be totally fixed tomorrow for Portal. We'll have to see how that actually plays out. These are all certainly important and good steps in the right direction. But of course, we need info on content. It seems like that leak about the first DLC coming in March could be fairly accurate if DICE is not talking about any new maps coming or teasing any new content at the moment. And with that 3.3 patch coming in mid to late February, it seems like it might actually line up with a timeline for the first DLC content in March. If that is the case, that's a bit of a bummer. If DICE isn't talking about new content, it almost certainly means that they're still planning and formulating the way forward with that, and maybe they're a couple weeks out from giving us a full roadmap. Best case scenario, they're working on a massive list of content and just want to solidify it and make sure they can do it all before announcing it to the public, and that's why they've been tight-lipped about it, but we'll just have to wait and see. What do you guys think about all of this information? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.